How can allyship be encouraged and strengthened between women of color across all different backgrounds?
I think it could be like more curated amongst all backgrounds, like when we actually sit down and express our differences, right? And not in a sense of like, oh, like y'all go through this and like no, like just literally expressing like this is my culture, right? And then through that you start to sense that there's so many similarities, right? Because when we stay focused on our differences of like trying to like one up someone, or I think even kind of goes back into like your last question, Tony, of getting over that hurdle. I for sure have gone through that, right? And I find it ironic because I usually go through it with my black side and my brown side. I'm like, I'm both. What you mean, right? But I think when we are able to just sit down and have a conversation about like what we're passionate about, what makes us beautiful, or this is actually what we go through, right? You start to see, okay, like this is what we go through, like systematically, but then there's so many like similarities of the household. Like I'm always thinking about like this idea of like, oh, like all black men are bad, or like all black women this, right? And I hear that with my black community, but then I go to my brown community, I hear the same concepts, right? Or with maybe the Asian community. So it's very like there's so many similarities. I think we can only get to a point of understanding that is if we literally speak about the differences, right? And like not putting this layer of toxic positivity over it, or also noticing that we are equal people, but we are not equal. You know, we are made equally, right? But we are not equal to each other. There's different paths to get to what everyone wants: love, support, happiness, right? So I think that's what we have to do. We have to not not be afraid of conflict, right? And put your best foot forward. Like not everything got to be beef. Like you can move. I think it's conversation. This genuine conversation.